All right, what's up, everyone? Today we are going to talk about calories and counting calories. Is it necessary? Do you need to count calories to get to your goals, burn fat, lose weight, build muscle, whatever your goals are? We all know nutrition is a big part of it. Nutrition is one thing that you control most, probably the most out of some of the big rocks. The sleep. Sleep can be tough. You don't always control your sleep necessarily. You control your training a lot, but you also control your nutrition a ton because you physically have control of, I mean, at least most people that are watching this control what they're putting into their mouth, whether it's food or drink. And tracking, counting calories is one way to do it. But a lot of times you get these fad diets and all these things where, oh yeah, all you got to do is just track your calories. If you're in a caloric deficit, that's all that matters. Calories in versus calories out. Yeah, that stuff is important, but it's not all that matters. You got the different diets, if it fits your macros and stuff like that, where yeah, they make you track your calories, but half the calories are just garbage. And if 90% of your diet is just garbage, it doesn't matter if you track your calories. Sure, you might lose weight. You're not going to feel good. You're not going to be healthy. You're not going to move and make the progress you really want. You might lose weight, but you're going to not have any muscle. You're going to be skinny fat. You're going to be lazy, lethargic. All your levels of everything if you get your blood work done is going to be probably shot. Yeah, sure, there's just genetic freaks that you see some of these athletes that claim they eat candy and stuff all the time. That's the 1% of the 1%. It's probably going to catch up with them later, sooner rather than later. But should you count your calories? Do you need to count your calories in order to track or make progress? No, you don't. Do I think it can be beneficial? Yeah, I think it can be very beneficial to track and count and know where you're at to see kind of what a serving of whatever, chicken or rice or any type of food, what a serving looks like, or how much grams is that, or ounces is that, and calories is that. That can definitely be beneficial to know at some point. I think, yeah, it can help everyone at some point. Doesn't mean you have to do it forever. No. Doesn't mean you have to do it for the rest of your life. No. It's a tool. And for some people, some tools work, some tools don't work. And it is important to figure out what works best for you. The most important thing with calories is not to count them, but as Mike Dolce always says, make your calories count. And what that really means is that your calories are full of nutrient-dense, whole, real foods. The foods that are going to give you more than just empty calories, like the cookies and the chips and the store-bought stuff that is just the ultra-processed stuff that is empty calories. And when I say that, I mean there's nothing in there besides the sugars and the carbs and things like that. There's no nutrients. There's no nutritional value in there. Just calories to make you want to keep eating more. And with the whole nutrient-dense real foods, what you should be eating majority of the time, if not all the time. I mean, yeah, you can make your choices, do what you want. But again, 95% of the time, if you're eating the whole nutrient-dense real foods, you are going to be golden. And that means making your calories count and the nutrients in there. So yes, there's the macros, of course, the protein, which a lot of those ultra processed foods don't have a lot of protein. Even like the protein bars and that junk, most of that's just junk anyway. It's protein, but it's mixed with a bunch of crap, so you're not getting much out of it. So the whole nutrient-dense real foods get you your macros, your protein, your carbs, and your good quality fats. And that is combined with things like your vitamins, vitamin A, B, C, all the vitamins in there, the minerals, the iron, the magnesium, the fiber is huge. That's going to help fill you up, help digestion. So all these other minerals and nutrients that your body needs to thrive, to perform at its best, whether that's work, whether that's in your training, whether that's in school, whether that's being a mom or dad or grandpa or grandma. These nutrients are going to help you do that, and you can get majority of them through your food if you are making your calories count and getting enough of that. And many times, if you're getting enough of this food, of the good quality nutrient dense food, you don't need to worry about counting calories, because it's gonna self regulate your hunger, your cravings and things like that. If you're getting enough protein, you're probably not going to be craving as much junk food all the time. You get enough fiber, you're not going to be as likely to overeat. It's hard to overeat apples and oranges and carrots and broccoli and fruits and vegetables and all these foods, because they're so full of nutrients that you aren't just going to chow them down like you would a whole sleeve of Oreos or a whole pint of ice cream. It's not as nutrient dense, and it's because you feel full. You feel like you're satisfied and full, and that was a good apple or whatever, and you don't need any more, because these calories are going to fill you up. That's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say making your calories count, rather than just counting them just to meet a number or I'm not sure. I'm trying to say a number that you hit just to hit it and say, oh, I hit my calories today, but I still feel I'm not making any progress. I still don't feel good, because half of the food that helped me make my calories, that number, is just a bunch of junk. So again, whole nutrient dense real foods, making those calories count. So what are these foods? I've talked about it tons, but I'll go over it again. So again, think foods from the earth. So your plants, your fruits, your vegetables, your rice and potatoes and oats and nuts and seeds and that type of stuff. And then foods you get from animals. So your meats, your eggs, your dairy, all that stuff that you can, any type of meat you get or fish, or the things you get from an animal. So that is what the whole nutrient dense real foods mean. Foods from earth, foods from animals. Humans, we are meant to be omnivores, eating both of them. I guess that if you call it a diet that I push, it's that, eating whole nutrient dense real foods, being omnivore. If you're vegan or vegetarian, that's fine. That's your choice again. But I think humans are meant to eat both. So, but again, choices. We're humans. Most people are adults. Everything that you do is a choice, especially with your nutrition. You choose what you eat. You choose what you put in your body, what you drink. So, and again, with drinking, drink water. There you go. Or milk, dairy. Again, that's part of the whole foods. Bone broth is good. That's another thing I drink. I'm trying to think of other things. Tea or coffee if you need some caffeine. I'm not a caffeine person, but I don't like coffee. But I've had tea in the past, green tea and stuff in the past. But as far as drinks, those types of things. But again, those foods are coming from animals or plants. So again, it all fits into those categories of the whole nutrient dense real foods. And again, when you start eating those, a lot of times that's where our habit in my coaching and tag, it's that first phase is working on habits, especially with nutrition. And just some simple swaps work nice to start. And once you start eating more of these whole nutrient dense real foods, you don't need you find out you don't have to count or worry about weighing out food, because again, it self-regulates how you feel, how much you can eat, because of the nutrients in the food. It's kind of putting a filter or a funnel on the amount of food you can eat, just because again, it's hard to eat 3 steaks in one sitting or 5 chicken breasts in one sitting. Again, especially with the meats, because you have to chew them, and chewing can be a lot of work. But again, that protein in there is going to help fill you up. And then with like the fruits and vegetables, it's the fiber in there that's filling you up. The other nutrients that are filling you up and making you feel good, rather than actually feeling like junk. Because most people don't actually realize what feeling good feels like, because they've been eating junk for so long. But again, switching to whole nutrient dense foods kind of puts that regulator on the amount you eat. So again, and if you're training hard, then you're probably going to need to eat more to stay stay at where you want and perform where you want. Again, your goal. Everyone's got different goals: building muscle, burning fat, just performing better, feeling better. But again, making your calories count is gonna help all of this. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever your goals are, that's because it's just eating whole nutrient dense real foods that are full of the macros and the micros to help you inside your body and outside. So you're going to look better, you're going to feel better, you're going to move better, and then everything inside is going to regulate and get back on track too. So you're cutting out cutting out the junk, the ultra processed foods all the time, all the alcohol. Get all that stuff out. You don't need it. It's not going to help you. If you have a birthday or something like that, I'm not saying you have to be perfect all the time. We all have vices and things like that and again, these are all choices still too. So think of it that way. These are the choices you make. And if you want to live your best life, whole nutrient dense foods is going to help get you there. And that's what I mean when I say make your calories count. But again, with actually counting calories, it can be a great tool, I think. And there's different ways to do it. You can use an app. You could use pen and paper. I mean, that's a lot of work. But there's so many apps that make it simple. Scanning your food, put it in. But again, weighing everything out. Again, that can help for a time being. But it might not be a long-term solution. It might be overwhelming for a lot of people too. Just because the numbers and, it got to be perfect. Weighing out, is it 8 ounces or 8.3 ounces or whatever it is. And again, you don't have to be perfect on that. Rough right in that area is good, but it can be useful to know what 6 ounces of chicken looks like, or an 8-ounce steak looks like, or a cup of rice, or 3 cups of vegetables, what that stuff looks like, how many calories is equal to that. That can be beneficial because that kind of gives you, then if you do that for a while, then you can start maybe eyeing out and seeing. But again, a lot of times just starting out, just switching to whole nutrient real foods is going to self-regulate and crave your hunger and stuff like that just by switching it up and not going for all the junk food all the time. So again, counting calories can be great, but it can also be hurtful or hurt people too because they get so obsessed with it and frustrated and depressed if they're not perfect. So again, figure out where you're at with that and start what you need and try things out and do different things to see what works for you, what is not working for you. But again, I think it can be beneficial for a little bit of time to even track and see what things are, what servings are, and how much calories is equated to that amount. But it might not be for everyone, especially long term. So find what works for you is the main thing. If you need help with that, reach out. I'd love to help you and kind of get you on the right track. trevor.gutting. And but if you have any other questions on counting calories or making calories count, whole nutrient real foods, drop them in the comments or send me an email, and we'll get you your answers you need to hopefully help get you on the right track. But again, remember, these are all choices you can make. Life is full of choices. Make the right ones to get to where you want to be. So that is what I have for you today, guys, and we will talk to you again soon. Thanks.